Rumble. Fantastic. Awaiting PaulJPowers.com. At some point, he will join. It is 8:30. Let me let him know. I'm currently in his stream right now. Yes, 8:30 indeed. You are first, Ashley. We don't have, I don't have that on this scene collection, so that's why you're not going to hear it. Yes, raid me. Raid me now, Paul. I just need to know I was first. That's okay. This is going to be a weird question. Save that. Actually, would you enter in a question, exclamation point Q, and then a question just to test to make sure it's something. What I missed? Nothing yet, Cleva. We're going to be interviewing Paul as part of this new thing we're doing for the podcast, where I'm going to be interviewing members of the crew, people that are regularly on the podcast, just to gain to know them a bit better. Thank you for the raid, Paul. Fantastic. But we're going to be interviewing Paul, and this is our celebrating 12 years of doing the podcast today. Black Friday used to be a day we do our 12-year anniversary episodes. So this is our 12-year anniversary, starting into our 13th year. Please interrupt Paul mid-conversation. I will try. To do that. That's more his shtick, but I will give that a shot. Master interrupter. See how you like it. 12 years, that's almost 13 years. What? Indeed it is. Okay, now I need to go see if Paul has joined yet. He has not. So I'm waiting because he's getting set up for this. He was just streaming art. He's working on Junkyard Juggernauts for the game I'm designing. How are you doing, Cleva and Bobo? Nice. Today is my 25th anniversary with my wife. Oh, congratulations, Cleva. That's so fantastic. Let's see. And Ashley wrote that question. Okay, now I'm going to check that it did log. Thank you so much for testing that for me, Ashley. Okay, let me go ahead. If you have a question you've been burning to ask Paul, exclamation point Q, and then your question in the chat on the Twitch side. It should work on the what's it called? The YouTube side as well. But okay, thank you, Ashley. That did show up. Perfect. So it should work on the YouTube side too. I haven't tested that though. So if you want to make sure it gets through, Twitch, please. Sorry, Rumble. Yes, thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, my love. Sorry, Rumble. I wish it was working for you. I really do. Let's see. Paul says, almost there. No worries. Bobo says, I'll be tuning in shortly. Fantastic. And congrats to Cleva. And Cleva says, thanks. Yeah, so we're just awaiting Paul. And I'm going to be trying this new thing where, okay, we are recording. This will be released. I'm going to do the whole sweetening audio thing that I do on the main podcast. But we're going to be trying this new thing where I am going to change that a little bit. I'm going to be adding this into the podcast feed. So you'll get this interview later. Okay, let me see if that added. Ashley, thank you so much for testing these for me. Okay, well, yes, it says it there, but that doesn't mean it necessarily gets into the file. But let's see here.
Is it lying to all of us?
No, I actually got in. I got one from Bobo, and I got both from you. Okay, perfect. So it works on the YouTube side and the Twitch side. Fantastic. Ask Paul if Ultra 4K just... no, it's not. There's no connection set up for Rumble, so it's not going to work.
Sadness.
I know. Tell me. There's nothing I could do. I need to know APIs and stuff way beyond my pay grade to fix that. Bob, I got your question right here. Hey, and thank you for the panache. I guess that's something, Ashley. Clove says, ask Paul about... Oh, yeah, I've read that, right? If he's if Ultra 4K discs are a ripoff. I don't think he would say they are. Oh, wait, is he here? Oh, sorry, Paul. I'm not hearing you. I know you've been here probably this whole time for 27 seconds. Can you talk? Make sure I can hear you. Oh, golly sakes. Okay, they can't hear you yet, Paul, so hold on. Let me add you to the stream. Un momento. Paul, the master interrupter himself, is here. Just adding him in, guys. Okay. That should show him up, and he should pop up like right over here, if it works. Maybe. Okay, did I not copy it right? Copy. V. Oh, I didn't copy it right. That would be why. Maybe now it'll work. Come on. Aha! It works! It works!
I'm so small.
What was that?
I said I'm so small.
Well, okay, there you go. Now you're not small.
Okay.
So, welcome,
Hi,
Paul.
how are you? Very nice to see you all again.
Yes, very nice to see you all again. Oh my gosh. All right. So I'm going to do a brief intro, Paul, and then we're going to get going. Are you good? Do you need to?
Okay.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
I know this is like your first podcast. You're probably very nervous right now.
I'm a little nervous.
All right, and I am.
You know,
recording.
us being in the Thunder Road 3. Who
Yes,
knows if we're gonna get lost in the? Hold on, you know what we're gonna get lost in.
A movie space-time continuum.
Yes, we don't want to get lost in there, but it's possible because we're traveling in the Thunder Road 3. I may make an intro with Travis for this. That's why I'm thinking, just to make these a little different.
Okay.
But let's start.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rewinders, to Retro Rewind Podcast Crew Views, where we interview the awesome people, the awesome hosts, co-hosts, guest hosts of the podcast. You hear them every other week, reviewing movies, reviewing games, and we thought it'd be awesome to, as we're patrolling the sectors looking for the next movie or game we're going to cover on the podcast, you know, let's get in the Thunder Road 3 and do some talking while we're looking around for those movies and games. And
Yeah.
today we have Arnold, apparently. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Arnold. How about you?
Okay.
Oh, glad you're okay. But we actually have PaulJPowers.com, the master interrupter himself, joining us today for our 12th anniversary episode. You look like you want to interrupt,
Woohoo!
Paul.
I look like what?
You wanted to interrupt. You're moving your mouth like, I want to talk. Let me talk, Francisco.
Sure. No, you're doing great.
Oh my gosh. Well, Paul, to kick things off, we're just going to get to know you a little bit. Then we'll talk about sort of your experience of the podcast, have a lightning round of like this or that, and then end with any questions that come in from the audience. If you have a question and you're watching live on Twitch, YouTube, or Rumble at RetroReonPod, then you can submit questions, !Q, then space, then your question, and we'll ask Paul those in the listener questions. But let's get going, Paul, and hopefully this camera switcher thing works. So my first question to you, Paul, is what decade were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in the year of our Lord of 1970. Well, the decade is the 70s. And I grew up on planet Earth.
Planet Earth, okay, because you moved
Yes.
around a bit, right? That's why you're giving me this
Yes.
Planet Earth
Because
stuff.
I'm an army brat, and we've moved all around different places.
Okay, very cool. Well,
I've got a question for you.
oh, okay.
Because you're asking people all these questions. When are people going to get to know you?
I don't need to be known. I'm
Yeah.
I'm an enigma.
Okay. Well, we'll need to remedy that.
I'm sure at some point I will be asked questions, so don't you worry. 1900s.
I see how it
oh,
is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good for the goose, but not good for the gander. I
No, it'd be fun to be on the flip side of these. Me and someone else will go on the Thunder Road too. Maybe you, Paul, maybe someone else will interview me. For now, though, we're getting to know PaulJPowers.com. So my next question for you is what is your favorite thing about the 1980s or 1990s?
What the heck? There's so many good things.
Well, I'm
The
glad you think so.
prices. I love the prices the most. Because
Like the prices of goods and services, that's what you love the
Yes.
most.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me those prices. In fact, go in the future about 50 years and those prices will be even better. You know what it is? And today's and I'm assuming this as we go farther into the future, it's going to be easier and easier to make movies, TV shows, cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the 80s and 90s, it was a lot more difficult. You had only the big studios basically could kind of do that.
Sure.
And you had people in charge and they wanted to make sure they got their money's worth, and you kind of had one of your favorite words, Francisco, gatekeepers. And so that the quality of TV shows and movies were a lot higher per
output.
I'm not saying the movies today and TV shows today aren't good or even not better, because you try to go watch some of those TV shows and stuff that we watched back then, and it's horrible. I can't stand more than 5 minutes of some of my most favorite ones, like like Greatest American Hero or Dukes of Hazzards. I loved him when they were first out. Now I can't stand them. They're so slow and boring. But now, that's all we had to choose from. Now there's still good movies, but there are a plethora of so many to choose from, and so many bad ones to choose from as well, that it's harder to find the good ones, especially in movies now.
Yeah.
So, see, gatekeepers can be a good thing.
Oh my gosh.
Because they oversee and they protect, and they want to make sure it's good.
But those are literal. Why are you getting me on this topic? Those are literal gatekeepers, because they're saying, we will finance this movie if you make it this type of movie. We believe in this movie. Oh, we don't believe in this movie. As opposed to people that said, you can't be part of this fandom because you don't know the color of this character's hair. No one's stopping you from then continuing to be a part of the fandom, watching the show, making cosplay, whatever. No one's stopping you from doing that. That's in your own mind. So that's what I mean.
What is triggered that for you, Francisco? Where is all this coming from?
Use gatekeeping as like a bad or something that's, I don't like gatekeepers. People are gatekeeping. You don't have to listen to other people. You're gatekeeping yourself at that point.
So if you go to like the major streamers now, if you want to like search for the movies, over half of them are movies that you've never heard of, and because it's easier to make movies now with today's technology.
Thank you for bringing it back on topic. Yes.
Yeah, but it's also harder to find the good stuff, because if there's like a sale, you go in there.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's
so
true.
I missed that about the 80s and 90s, where if there was like, you had when you go into like Blockbuster, you know where the good movies are, and you could kind of tell. I'm sorry, judging a book by its cover or a movie by its cover, but you can kind of tell what's good and what's bad.
I get that. Yes.
But now I can't imagine walking into a Blockbuster now with the number of titles, if there was one, of all of them that are available. It's just so many to pick from that it's just hard to narrow it down.
Like, even if you're just looking at cover images, so much of it looks the same, kind of as the same sort of quality. So it's hard to even differentiate in that way. Clevis says, like the Nintendo seal of approval. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a great thing to like about the 80s and 90s too.
The prices. Yeah.
But let's move on to some more personal. Do you have any secret talents, PaulJPowers.com? Other than being both a human and a website?
I normally don't let people know, but when I get angry, I have these talons come out like claws, and those are my secret talons.
Talents. Like with
Oh.
a T.
Secret. I don't know. I like to exploit any talents I have, so it's not so secret.
Well, something the rewinders may not know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of.
No.
No, none that come to mind.
Oh, okay.
If I think of anything,
Good.
I'll let you know.
Fantastic.
But or would I? Because it's a secret.
Dun, 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 dun. What is your favorite movie genre to watch and video game genre to play, Paul?
My favorite movie genre.
Like most movies in the genre, you'd be happy to at least try, if not enjoy.
I do like animated films, but animated films are not a genre because
Fair.
there are different genres of animated films.
Yes.
And I used to say superhero movies, but those are actually not a genre anymore because there's so many. There's actually genres within
Subgenres, yeah.
Yeah, of superhero movies. You can have a comedy superhero movie, a drama. You know what I mean?
Thriller, crime, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I know anime is not a genre, but let's just go with that. How about video games though?
I like side scrollers. 3D ones are little. I'm an old school gamer kind of a thing. So that's I grew up on the side scrollers.
Yeah.
So that's more easy for me to button mash with.
Sure. Would you prefer something that's like a puzzle platformer like a Mario or more like an action like a Mega Man or Contra?
Wait, isn't Mario and Mega Man both side scrolling? Like,
yes,
aren't they similar?
but the subgenre within one's much more action oriented, one's much more like there's like a puzzle in this world
Zelda
that I have to
is like
solve.
puzzles.
Well,
so
yes.
it's not...
In Super Mario World, you have to find the key to get to the secret place to go over here.
Yeah,
to go to
but
the Star
it's
Road.
not okay. It's Mario light puzzle.
Fine. So I'm just curious between those two of side
Between
scrollers.
which two?
The more actiony or the more just platforming?
Whatever Mario is.
Platforming. All right. Paul, is there a food that you've eaten, that you will never eat again? You hate it so much.
Oh, Cleva said beat 'em up side scrolling. You
Oh,
know
that's
what?
right. Oh, good point.
You know what I would love to do? I love the Turtles, what is it? Return of Shredder, Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's
Which
Revenge, yes. It's so good, yes.
So now they're having these other ones
like
that
Power
are all
Rangers?
similar to that. That are like, kind of like, the Simpsons was back in the day and the X-Men. And now they're coming out with more. They have the Scott Pilgrim and they have a Karate Kid one.
Yeah, Power Rangers is coming out.
Yeah, is it? Okay. They need one where you can import them all. So you can have the Ninja Turtles fighting with the Power Rangers just like in the TV show. Or,
That would be pretty cool, yes.
Yeah. Like, can't they all be like in the same
Yeah,
universe?
I'm sure the rights holders be totally fine with that and have no issues.
No, downloadable content, like make it free so nobody gets any money. But you pay for like or each company sells their own.
And you can buy them and import them into. That's actually a great idea. Yes, I like that idea very much.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Was there food? No, I don't like food.
Okay.
What's
going? It sounds like you're really geeky about things like importing different IPs into like one experience. Would you say that's the thing you're geekiest about? Like wanting to see your worlds colliding, or something else?
But one of my descriptions in my social media is I keep it simple, is that I'm a saved fanboy. So, and what I'm geekiest about is the fanboy. Yes, warning, I am a fanboy. So that means like I love little tiny details in things about like a lot of different things, but you got to get those details right.
Yeah.
So you bring in Ninja Turtles with Power Rangers. Well, which versions of Ninja Turtles and which versions of Power Rangers? I may not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so does that answer your question? So I get geeky about what things that I like. So
Okay. So if you really like it and you really push into it,
yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like you keep bringing up Ninja Turtles. So what is the definitive movie / show, like not a game, but the definitive Turtles for you that you
IP.
watch and you don't play?
I'm sorry, I don't play, but I watch. Okay.
Yeah.
My top favorite movie of all time.
So movie or TV show, I meant, is what I was going
is
for.
Star Wars, and there's a lot of
of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the Teenage.
You were talking specifically of Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what's my favorite IP.
No.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Repeat the question. What's my favorite iteration of Ninja Turtles?
Of Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
What is the pinnacle of your viewing experience? Like, you would recommend it to anyone. So not a game, but either a TV version or a movie version of the Turtles.
They're all flawed in their own ways. I can't think of one none fit that category that I would recommend to anybody.
Okay.
Like, everybody's got to see this one because the first movie is a bit dark. The second movie is a bit silly. The third movie is just ridiculous. Executedly ridiculous. The plot itself on paper, fantastic. But I love the cartooniness of the Shredder's Return. Sorry, I don't remember which one. I'm not that much. The game. The
Shredder's
game of
Revenge.
it.
Yeah, is
Shredder's
the game.
Revenge. Yeah. So I would love an animated. I'm not saying pixel art.
An animated movie of Shredder's Revenge.
No.
Oh.
Sorta.
Oh.
A 2D animated movie or series, movie, but somebody takes another stab at the plot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'd be down for that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, Turtles in Time.
Yeah, basically. Like Turtles in Time Club, exactly.
Exactly.
And you pretend the third one doesn't exist, Ashley. I mean, that's appropriate, I'd say. But
it replaces this one. It replaces that.
As we transition, though, to talking about the podcast, Retro Rewind podcast, let's start.
Podcast.
Let me do a quick light quiz for you, Paul. What is your rank on the pod, and what are your duties?
My duties are private. I do that behind closed door. My rank is
your responsibilities.
I've been told I am an XO, which is basically a kiss and a hug. Oh
my gosh!
Which
short for executive officer.
Which just means people love
Paul.
me so much they want me to be there.
Sorry, okay.
What?
Yes, I said it's short for executive officer. That's what.
Okay,
XO
executive
is.
officer.
Yes.
Like I'm number one.
Number
or
two.
I'm number two. Who's your number one? I guess
me.
Wait, if you're number one, who's the captain? You.
Wait, isn't
you're
the
number
captain
one
number
and the captain?
Hold on. Jonathan Frakes' character Riker is called number one?
Oh my gosh. You just about lost some credit there.
It's been a while since I've seen TNG, okay?
All right.
So he's number one.
Yes.
Okay, then fine. Yes, you are number one. Exactly.
Woo! I'm number one. I'm number one.
All right. Let's talk about Retro Rewind podcast, Paul.
Okay.
What is your first memory or experience of the Retro Rewind podcast?
My first memory of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Yeah, it could be about the genesis of it, our first episode recording, or something else.
So my first memory is when, and I don't know if you remember this, and memories are a little bit tricky, so they could be fuzzy.
Yeah.
But my best friend came to me and said, "Hey, would you like to do a podcast?" I'm thinking of this kind of format, and you presented to me. It was about a 6 minute, not even 6 minutes.
Mm.
It was really quick review of A Legend of Zelda. I think it was a game, and I don't know. I don't remember which. It might have been Link to the Past,
Probably.
but it was
yeah.
real quick.
Mhm.
Here's 3 things that I like, boom, 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 about the game, and here's 3 things that I didn't like. And you had The Legend of Zelda music playing in the background.
Oh wow! I
Like
wish.
I said,
I hope
it was
I
only
could
a few
find that.
minutes.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I wish I still had it because I don't. But I remember hearing it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's short and sweet. Little did I realize that our episodes would be hours long.
Hey, there's only a couple that are hours, plural, long.
Well, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
But that's my earliest memory of is that Legend of Zelda
Oh, very cool.
review, which isn't a proper episode that even we could hear if we wanted to.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if there'd be a way for me to find that, but that'd be really awesome. It's probably on an old computer hard drive that I don't really have access to anymore, but very, very cool. All right. That is an awesome memory. But do you have a favorite or least favorite memory from being on the show?
No.
Or both? No. Everything's just very middle.
I looked up some tips on how to answer interview questions, and they said short one-word answers.
You
are the
made
best.
me spit take pauljpires.com. How dare you?
Actually, I don't have a specific memory that I don't like or a memory that I do like. But I'll tell you what. In general, the times that I have enjoyed it the most is when we've had a bunch of people on, like the GoldenEye episode or the Goonies
or Matrix.
Unfortunately, when the listener listens to those episodes, and even I have this problem. I can't tell sometimes who's saying what. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
But during those recording times, is having everybody there. I'm the kind of person that is just like the more the merrier. It's kind of like a party, and I enjoy that. So for me, those have been like the most fun times for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. You said how it's hard to listen to something like that. I'm curious, though, what is the hardest part of being on the podcast? I mean, you're pretty much on every episode. I imagine there's something. So maybe you have several things that are the hardest or just one thing. But what's the thing that's like, I really love doing this podcast, but this one thing,
Oh. When I can't find the right soundbite in time.
Oh.
Like you said earlier, hey, first we're going to kick things off with, and I didn't have my sound clip ready. It's so frustrating. There's so many times I listen back or even while we're recording now, and I can't get to that, and the time has passed.
Yeah.
That I would say that is my most frustrating.
Yeah, I totally get that. Okay. Is there a section of the show that hopefully doesn't frustrate you, but like the likes, trivia that you look forward to during recording or when listening back to the show? Like a specific section of the show.
My favorite part of the show is right after we come back from
the trailer.
Sorry. Hold that thought. Edna mode. See, I can't even find that right now.
Oh,
Edna
man.
mode.
There we go.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm looking for
Or a sound clip. Okay.
a sound clip.
See? Well, you have like hundreds of sound clips at this point.
And it's getting harder.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is it okay? going back.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say, like, after we go back to 20XX, and then we thank our supporters who support us, and then I have a promo clip of something like,
This stream sponsored by PaulJPowers.com.
the little PaulJPowers.com
Yeah.
promo. That's my favorite thing that I look forward to.
I mean, those are great. I love the creativity and how you you bring those together, and you're always playing those, and sometimes they tickle me really well. So yes, I do appreciate those for sure. Clevy, if you want to type !Q and then type in your question, we'll get all those questions during the listener question portion.
1
okay.
hour later. No.
What'd you say, Paul?
1 hour later.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. A few more questions here about the podcast. Is there a movie or video game you're surprised that we have not covered, or you are looking forward to us covering soon? Like, you know, we've recently mapped out our next year. So are you looking forward to one of those, or is there like, why have we not covered this yet?
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many movies. Like the animated Hobbit we haven't reviewed yet.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised. Here we are going into our 13th year and we still haven't one of the things that I'm looking forward to recording no, I'm joking.
There's nothing.
No. I'm looking forward to eventually recording The Hobbit, the animated. It's not going to be next year, but sometime. And you know, honestly, it's because there are films like we talked about, other films like this. It's the original intention of the podcast. So we were wondering if it holds up after all these years. I haven't seen The Hobbit in decades.
Oh wow! Okay.
And I've been holding it off, and I really have no desire to like. Okay, I'm tired of holding off. I'm gonna watch it. No, what I'm really curious is, because I enjoyed it as a kid. Will I still enjoy it?
Yeah.
So that's why I look forward to it.
Absolutely.
A lot of the ones we cover now, it's like, well, I kind of know, or I kind of don't.
Oh,
it's
sure.
It's not that much of a surprise from what
gotcha.
What I think it's going to be and what my final rating is. You know.
I totally get that.
Those kind of movies that have been on the voting list for a while at retrorewindpodcast.com/vote.
It may not be that anymore, but maybe.
Or how about this? Google Retro Rewind Podcast and then vote.
Or go to firejoystudios.com and search up voting.
Or 20 years from now, just Google it.
Yeah, just Google it. Or Brave it, DuckDuckGo it, whatever your search engine of choice is.
There you go. Search it.
Yes, there we go. On that World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, Paul, is there a movie, sort of the opposite of this, is there a movie you wish we had never covered, which we have?
I'll tell you the one that I was most disappointed in was probably Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah, geez, that was such
I had never seen it before the podcast. And it was kind of like one of those comedies that was like, oh, that probably is not like, oh, the greatest comedy ever, but it's still kind of good, you would hope. Yeah. Because I mean, I do like the martial arts. You know, it's the guy from
Chris Farley
Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
And it's Chris Farley. He's funny. So I just wish that part of me wishes we didn't cover it, to answer your question.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen it, so it doesn't hold that disappointment in my heart.
I'm going to answer these questions for a second, just sort of merging those ideas. I'm surprised we haven't covered Surf Ninjas yet.
Well, I'm glad, because I saw that recently, this last year or two, and I was like, oh wow, this is not nearly as good as I was hoping it would be.
Oh man, okay.
I don't know what happened, because Cooney, what's his name? Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah.
Who was so great in Ninja Turtles 2,
Yeah.
did that movie, did Surf Ninjas after Ninja Turtles 2,
Uh-huh.
and the acting wasn't good.
Oh,
in
interesting.
comparison.
I wonder if it's
Anyway.
like more of a direction then? I don't know.
I don't know.
But let's see. Last question about the podcast, Paul, and then we're going to get into the lightning round. Do you have a favorite?
So good at lightning round.
Majored in lightning rounds. I'm going to destroy you. Do you have a
Wanna
favorite? Oh, I'm so curious as to what we've been doing so far. Why are we doing Friends right now?
Because it's amazing.
That is like the best episode. Do you have
I
a
agree.
favorite meme that has been born out of the podcast over these last 12 years?
A meme that has been born out of it?
Yeah, we have like John Billiams.
Oh.
We have Salvo Authority, all those types of things.
Oh, from the podcast
Like-
itself.
Yeah, like something if you said to another rewind or someone who listens to the podcast, they like chuckle, oh, they know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I'm wearing this shirt right now.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's my favorite, but I'll tell you what, no other shirt that I wear right now, people look at like, what is on? And my shirt, for those who are listening, it says, I hate white text on black background.
That is a good
Oh,
meme.
boy.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be my favorite.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Slow and boring, it just fits so natural. It does.
Yeah?
It's not funny, but it's just not to me. I mean, some people might find it funny,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I've heard rewinders say it in comical ways throughout the years. so,
right.
yeah.
That seems to be the one that catches more often.
Yeah,
but I don't know if
absolutely.
I have a favorite.
Okay.
I was about to say my favorite. I don't know. I like using the fire dance emoji
Yeah.
because I just remember you
Fire
playing the
dance.
game and doing the fire
Yeah.
dance thing.
Final Fantasy
that's a
3/6. Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
And like what Clever was saying, I've never seen a meme except I was thinking one that was created from the show, and the only one that is, I think Rosie sent an image of like oh man, it was like I even forget. It had something to do with Team Womp.
Oh, sure. But I mean, a meme doesn't necessarily have to be just a visual
a picture.
It could
Right.
be yeah,
Like
a
you said,
reference.
something you hear from the podcast.
Exactly.
I don't know.
All right. But let's get into this lightning round, which apparently you're so good at.
All right. Do you have a favorite?
Gosh, I'd have to give it thought. I feel like I love it when John Billiams comes up and Brian
Yeah.
Singer. When we
I was
call
about to say
Bryan
we haven't
Singer.
heard from Brian Singer in
Yeah,
so
yeah.
long.
Okay. But time for the lightning round. I'm going to give you
All right.
2 items that are somewhat related, and you tell me which one is your favorite of the 2. Okay?
Oh no. Okay.
All right. So here we go. Pizza or burgers?
Pizza.
Books or movies?
Movies.
Video games or board games?
Video games.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Seinfeld, Friends, or The Office?
Dogs rule and cats drool. Sorry, what?
Seinfeld,
What are The Office?
Friends, or The Office?
Friends.
Dragons or unicorns?
Dragons? Yeah. Dragons.
Okay. Mega Man or Castlevania?
Mega Man.
John Williams or Hans Zimmer?
Oh, John Billiams. Go with Williams.
Okay. Pokemon the trading card game or Magic the Gathering?
Neither.
Okay. You had to pick one.
Both go in they both make great kindling.
Oh my gosh. Fine. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Star Wars, okay.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or X-Men?
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. And finally, CRT or 4K?
4,000K.
All right. Okay, well, now it's time to get to your questions, guys. Thank you, Paul, for that. Good job on that lightning round. And let's get to our first question as I boot it up here. I think. Yes, questions from the audience. Here we go. First question. Really? Is there a particular comic or animated series, and this comes from Ashley, a particular comic or animated series that inspired you to pursue drawing?
No. I've been drawing since before I can remember. It was a way for my mom to keep me busy, kind of a thing. So I would color in the coloring books and draw. So it's but I did get into comic books later, like when I was 10. And I've always enjoyed cartoons. Disney animation is the classic 2D animation is very inspiring. So some of the anime now that's been out is inspiring. But nothing inspired me to pick up a pencil, if that made sense.
Yeah, okay. Very cool.
As much as like I'm bored. It's slow. Church is slow and boring.
Come on, God. Put in a car chase at some point.
Yeah. You got to watch out for those Duke boys.
Thank you, Ashley, for the question. Next question is from Bobo. What's an obscure movie you really enjoy that's probably not Electric Dreams?
Oh.
That's a shot across the bow of Bobo there.
Yeah.
For those that don't know.
Guilty pleasures. Is that what he's probably asking about? No,
I don't think so. A movie that like not a lot of people have heard of or have seen that you enjoy.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was about to say a lot of people have heard of. I'll tell you what. This is going to be very obscure.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, I love this. But okay, there's a lot of faith-based films, and Christian films get a bad rap lot between a lot of people because there's a lot of them out there, and it's just not great. So if anyone were to ask me, is there like a hidden gem amongst the dunes of blandness out there? That you find that you enjoy. And I say, yes, there is one. It's not like, oh, great, everyone should see this.
Yeah.
But it's a little one called What If. And
is that with Ryan Reynolds and John and the animals or the imaginary creatures?
No, that's If.
Oh. And
there is another movie that came out since then called What If, and there's a question mark at the end of it. But this is with Kevin Sorbo, right as he was making the transition into that's all he does kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But this was way back in the day when he was first transitioning into that. And it's kind of like,
is this the one that's like The Family Man?
Yes, I was about to say it's like It's a Wonderful Life, where he's like this businessman who gets to see what his life would have been like if he wasn't so career driven, almost like Scrooged.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But is it great? No, but I find it's a lot more tolerable than some of these other ones that people may.
Okay, so What If?
So it's kind of a rabbit trail on the question.
No worries.
I took a certain direction.
That's totally fine. Thank you, Baba, for the question.
Yeah.
Next up from Ashley again. What is your favorite animated series?
Oh.
And I'm going to add, you can include anime in there too if you'd like.
Yeah. Even with the problem is I don't have one. But I'll tell you what. I grew up with the Super Friends. And I liked it for the time. Like I said, there wasn't a lot to choose from.
Yeah. Is this the one with the Puddle Boy or something?
The what?
There's a Puddle Boy or something.
Yes, and an animal girl. Sure, the Wonder Twins.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it as a kid because there wasn't a lot to choose from. But you know, back in that time, and I started collecting comics around the late '80s. Fast forward, there is I think there's 4 seasons now of an animated series called Young Justice.
Oh, okay.
Season 2 is like the whole season is about an invasion of aliens. Has so many callbacks and references to some of the old characters from back then, and it is fast paced, boom, boom. And for someone who grew up in those, and they reference those characters from back then in different ways, like what he's from, this person comes, and then and like I said, I'm a fanboy, so I love the different references. So that season 2 is probably my favorite season of an animated series, of a TV series.
Wow.
So
okay.
Season 1 isn't that great. Season 3 and Season 4 aren't that great either. But for me, that's why it's like, is it my favorite series? No, not even close. But that Season 2 is just like the best, at least for me. And I've told this to other people, and they've seen it, and they're like, really? So it just hits me and what I like in a certain way because of what I grew up on and what I like.
Well, I'm gonna adjust massage this question just a little bit. Let's say you're done with this podcast, you're not tired, you decide I'm gonna put on an animated series. It can't be live action; it has to be an animated series.
That I've already seen before?
Sure.
Because there are several that I haven't, and I would put on one that I haven't.
One that you have seen before. What would you put on?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe that, because it's actually been several years since I've seen it. I wouldn't put the whole series on. Can I just put that season on?
Okay, then that even solidifies your answer even more.
Yeah.
And apparently, Ashley thought Young Justice was good. I enjoyed a few episodes here and there. Nice. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, Paul?
I've only seen up to like 6 episodes.
Oh, okay.
And I hear it's great, but it's a slow burn.
Yeah, I'm sort of in that boat also.
I would like to watch it, just especially for the pop culture references here and there.
Yeah.
But it hasn't hooked me enough for me to want to go back to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get that. All right, let's go to the next question. We have from Bob again. How many movies have come up for the podcast where you've said a flat no?
If I had to pick a number in the past 12 years, which is a good question, I would say around 6 or 7. Just guessing.
Okay, I was gonna ballpark 10, but yeah, it's something.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah,
that many.
I was gonna say 10 as well, but that seems kind of high.
It does.
That's like one a year.
Yeah.
Which doesn't. I would say one every 2 years, maybe.
Sure,
but it might be.
Okay, that's how I see how you get 6 or 7. Yeah, that's fair. Good question.
And
Bob.
they're almost, not always, but most of them are horror based.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that neither Francisco nor I are fans of. I'm not a fan of gore, anything that's bloody. So, like anything like Freddy Krueger or something gets an automatic no for me.
I think I imagine The Exorcist was probably one of them. Cleva. Cleva's asking what movies. I don't remember specifically because we're trying to think through 12 years. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. The good question though.
Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, don't have to deal with it. Not thinking about it. So
next up, also from Bobo, a favorite time you broke up the captain, like I think cracked me up.
The time he did a spit take
just
on
now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have one that stands out more than another.
Sure.
Sorry.
That's fine.
I'm getting old and my memory's fading.
I can think of one.
Oh, okay.
So there was one where we're reviewing The Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and I was Oh no, we were reviewing Karate Kid, I think. Yeah,
First one.
it was the re-recording of Karate
Okay.
Kid,
Okay.
and I was saying something about how I liked Johnny sort of kneeling down, focusing at the end, toward the end, before he's gonna fight Daniel again. And you said, "Oh, you like that he was Qui-Gon Jinning it," and that just busted me up. I thought it was so funny. So, go back, listen to the Karate Kid episode.
Oh, put one of those hash browns at the end, like hash brown Team Cobra Kai or something. And then send it to the internet.
Yes, send it indeed.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. All right, next questions comes from Cleva. What are your thoughts on the first RoboCop movie, and why were we allowed to watch that movie as a kid? LOL. I doubt Paul was allowed to, but
I was
go for
about to
it,
say I was not. Let me answer the first question or the second question first. It's saying I was not allowed to watch
Mhm.
the first RoboCop, and to this day I have not seen the first RoboCop.
Crazy.
Now I own it. I have a copy of it because that's another one I expected to have reviewed by now on the podcast that we haven't, and that's why I bought it, because I was like, oh, this is
gonna go up there, but apparently not. Yeah.
I'm not like excitedly looking forward to it because I hear it's kind of violent and over the top. And,
I'd say it's less so than Dread as a comparison. But it's approaching that, I'd say.
I am looking forward to seeing a movie that was directed by a World War II survivor. So that's.
Oh, I didn't realize he was.
Yeah, that's where he gets a lot of his. That's why it's so violent. It's a take on that. It's a take off on that.
He also directed Starship Troopers, so we could watch that also.
I've seen that. No, I'll pass.
Okay, fine.
I'm not saying that's a hard no,
it's
but
on
I'm
the
just saying I wouldn't vote it up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good question, Cleva. Thank you for that. Oh, Cleva also asks, are you Ultra 4K discs ripoffs? Are Blu-rays just as good? Now, you're someone, Paul, who I constantly joke about having your 8K screen. I think you just have a 4K. I don't know for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I think you're the perfect person to ask this question. So are 4K discs a ripoff? Are Blu-rays just as good? What's your take?
I mean, it depends. If you have a TV and it's only 180p, then it does you no good. Yeah, you could get a little clearer definition in a 4K, but honestly, it's not worth the. Some of the 4Ks have better steel books, so if you're into collecting steel books, that might be better for you.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I have a 4K TV, and there is a difference in between Blu-ray. Now, a lot of the TVs nowadays, the technology is getting better and better, where that what do you call it? Upscales. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Zooms up, multiplies. What is it called?
Enhance.
Yes, enhance.
CSI style.
Yeah. That you really don't need it, but I like all the sound quality is not compressed in a 4K. So if that matters to you, if sound quality is important to you, then a 4K disc is the way to go. If you have the technology, you have the money for the technology, then and you enjoy that, then yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
Okay. Awesome. Good to hear. All right.
I will say, actually, I thought of a caveat. Anything that's, like I said, 2D animated that I enjoy, you cannot tell the difference between the
1080
the Blu-ray and the
4K.
4K on the 4K on the TV. So if I get the 4K, it's usually because of the special features that I am a fan of.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
and thank you, Clever.
And 3D animated as well.
Oh, really?
It gets kind of tricky. Yeah, movies like Shrek and Panda Express. I'm not talking like Avengers,
Kung Fu
where it's
Panda?
mostly 3D. Huh?
Kung Fu Panda. You said Panda Express.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Panda. Oh man, you can tell where my brain is at. Actually, I considered Panda Express for dinner tonight. I didn't have it. I ate at home tonight. But anyway, yeah, Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, those I haven't seen any notice in the 4K upgrades.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
but yeah.
Cool. All right. Next question, also from Cleva. Do you still watch VHSs?
No. That's
As
horrible.
emphatic a response as you can get. All right.
Yeah.
Well, they're starting to release VHSs again, like Alien
Yeah,
Run.
it's horrible. Do I have a VHS player? Yes, because I have movies or home movies that I've
Sure.
already transferred. So I have it just in case, but I would
Use
not
it.
recommend any. No, that's look, DVD is better quality than VHS.
Fair.
And I try not to watch those.
Okay. Good deal. Cleva asks, is Die Hard, thank you for all the questions tonight, Cleva. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
In the same way Batman Returns is. In fact, Batman Returns is a more of a Christmas movie, but
Disagree, but all right.
you don't think Batman Returns is more of a Christmas movie? Oh, maybe not, because when they fall from the building, it doesn't say ho ho ho. Now I've got it.
Wow.
So they're about the same.
Okay. So we are out of questions, except some came in right before the end. So
Okay,
I will ask these here.
fire away.
Yes. It's just Ashley asks, what is your favorite Christmas movie? I think we talked a little bit about this on National Treasure. No, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And
Yeah,
let me see
check
if I
out
can,
that podcast.
Let me see if I can remember it. I think it was the Albert Finney Christmas Carol.
Yes, very good.
All right, cool. I know things.
1970.
1970.
Called Scrooge.
Is that in color or is it black and white?
1970 is color.
Well, okay, I don't know. Isn't the
I
George
know
C.
you weren't
Scott
born then. but
black
yes.
and white?
What?
Yeah, I wasn't alive then. How am I supposed to know these things?
Yeah.
Isn't the George C. Scott one black and white?
No, that was in the 80s, and that's color.
Really? Why do I have
George
this
C.
memory
Scott.
of him black? Maybe I'm confusing it with like
There are like 3 or 4 well-known ones. 3 that are black and white.
I think I may be conflating it with Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, that's black and white.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm confusing it for some reason.
All right.
But
Francisco, what's your favorite word?
Ashley taught me this Spanish word, burbuja. Oh, no. I do have a favorite word. Reliquary. I really like the sound of reliquary. It's a place you keep relics, but it's just a nice sounding
that's
word
cool.
to me. Yeah.
What is your least favorite word?
Are you James Lipton now?
Yes.
Okay. My least favorite word is I don't know. I have a least favorite phrase,
Which is
but
let
I
it
tried
go?
my best.
Oh. Well, obviously your best isn't good enough.
But
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners are sponsored by PaulJPowers.com, like this stream here.
oh my gosh. Okay, well, we are going to end now. Thank you so much, Cleva and Ashley and Baba, for asking those questions. If you want to be asking our guests questions, be on the live stream and ask in chat, and we'll be asking our guests these questions. We are next time going to probably be having Ashley Ruiz, my wife, to be on this Retro Rewind podcast crew reviews. But for now, Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing online, in life, things that you want people to know about, that you want to promote?
Well, no matter when you're listening to this, whether it's live here right now or in 10 years from now, you can find out what I'm doing at PaulJPowers.com.
PaulJPowers.com. Yeah, that is you. And if people want to hire you for art, do you think that'll be something you're doing 10 years from now?
Yeah, if the price is right.
Cha-ching. Yes, Clever. So you'll have some questions for my wife. Exactly. But awesome. Thank you so much,
I was
Paul.
about to say everyone has a price, so if you can find mine, I am for hire.
Dun dun dun. This has been awesome. Always, I mean, it's always fun getting to talk to you. And
Sure.
sure, of course it is.
Yeah.
I'm a
Cool.
delight
I
to
mean,
talk to you, Francisco.
I am PaulJPowers.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Rewinders, for listening to this. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully you got to know Paul a little bit more. Paul, last question. Is there anything you want people to know that I didn't ask about you? Anything you want
about
people
me?
to know about you
okay.
that I didn't ask?
No, nothing.
Did you figure out your secret talent yet?
I told you they're a secret.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We've scouted out the sector. I think we found this is where a Christmas story is going to be. So I think we're done. Let's head back to the pod and get some pizza. Does that sound good?
Yeah, as long as we don't shoot our eyes out.
Yes. Or maybe you want some Panda Express. Maybe we'll see if
There we go.
Bobo in the galley can cook us up some Panda Express.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, until next time. I don't have an
20
engine for this. Exactly. All right, Rewinders. Have a good one. Here is your pod face.
That's weird. No spit take?
No. I mean, this is going to be video too, so I'm going to release the video of this on the website.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that'll be the end. Thank you guys for hanging out. I think this is it. I'm going to go see if there's anyone we can raid on the Twitch side. But yeah, thank you, Paul. Thank you for being an awesome friend, for illustrating Junkyard Juggernauts, for doing this podcast for 12 years. Looking forward to 50 years more.
When I was your age, we'd already podcasted for 20 years.
I wonder if will we ever be so. Here's a question for you. I don't know if I'll leave this in. I'm glad that was traumatizing for you, Cleva. Do you think it'd be a little too self-congratulatory if we reviewed one of our podcasts at the 15-year mark?
I don't know if it would be self-congratulatory as much as it would be slow and boring.
It probably would be that. It probably would.
We've already done that. I mean, we've already did the episode. I mean,
no, but we're reviewing the episode. Like, what's our 3 likes for the episode, 3 dislikes for the episode?
Oh my gosh! How about this?
It's
the
like
podcast
Inception.
in general. What are the 3 things you like about the pod? Not in a particular episode, but the whole pod.
Oh, that's interesting.
But you have to wait 15 years after the podcast has ended in order to do that.
Yeah, good point.
Because it changes every.
Indeed, we are just ending, Rosie. How are things going at work? I know you had asked, or I think you put a prayer in that thing. You were more of a supervisor now, right? How are things going with that? Are you still going well? And Paul, you're welcome to hang out while I close out here, or but if you have to go, no worries.
Now we're going to do something extremely fun. We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is My Daddy and What Does He Do?
Well, your dad was a would he be called a pastor or just a minister? What's the word for clergy? He is a chaplain. He is a chaplain, right?
All of the above, depending on what you. It's like, is there a difference depending on who you ask? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Rosie says,
"Yeah, Rosie, go ahead, throw in a question. Francisco doesn't mind editing it."
Yes. If you'd like to ask a question, Rosie, I will put it in here at the end for Paul. We're interviewing Paul tonight. Let's just say I don't get paid enough to deal with those people. I'm a team lead, not. Oh, okay. Well, that's frustrating, Rosie, that you're having to deal with people and then and you don't get paid enough for it. But thank you for being
Now we're having
doing
fun.
the job you're doing. I'm getting a lot of buffering. Hold on. Okay, no worries. It's because Paul's so buff. That's why you're buffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen? Well, we're waiting. I'll just ask. Have you seen any movies lately, or gone to see anything lately?
Nope.
No. Have you watched A Christmas Story yet?
No. I'll
Me
probably
either.
watch that either tomorrow night or
Mhm.
Sunday night.
Okay. And have you heard from Zabe about us being on? Yeah, I haven't seen it.
No, he's
No,
probably
either.
still putting it together.
Yeah.
He still hasn't released. I don't know if you listened to the two
Off
Who
and-
Will Save
off
Generation
and
X,
on.
but he hasn't put our trivia thing in. You know the Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he just
Maybe
maybe it wasn't
questions
very
were
good.
Too hard or too
Yeah,
too easy.
yeah, because we did go pretty niche, didn't we?
But we reviewed the movie, so we had to.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's see. Rosie says, "Well, try to ask a question, but I don't know if I'll be able to hear the answer." Well, we're releasing this as a podcast, Rosie, so this will go in the main Retro Rewind podcast feed.
She can't
so
hear you.
You will hear the answer later. Well, someone who can hear, will you let her know that we'll be putting this in the podcast later, so she can hear us?
Type out the question and
Oh, well, thank you, Paul. You're doing the
edit it in.
exactly.
And when I say we, I mean Francisco.
I'm trying to think if there's any other questions I had that I would
Okay.
ask. Yeah,
What do you wish that we used to do, but we no longer do?
for
in
the
the
podcast?
One thing I
think-
wish.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we need to go back to classic and second class. Just redo all the episodes.
I oh no.
Don't make me kill you.
I wish the green screen app would work again.
Oh, Snapchat, the
Yeah.
Snapchat. I know that was so fun when you'd always do the baby Paul at the end of
Oh,
piece
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, for the that means shalom, or that means peace, or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Clef says, "What's your favorite food?" I mean, you said pizza over
Pizza.
burgers. I think.
I like a good rigatoni.
Really?
Yes.
What is that, like a pasta?
It is a pasta.
Okay.
It's kind of like spaghetti noodles that are side by side and shaped in a tube. It's kind of like big penne. You know what penne? Like those little tubes, but they're like big.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, and Rosie, don't feel pressure to come up with a question. It's okay.
no.
Yeah,
It's just if you wanted to
Yeah,
ask
just if you wanted to
anything
ask.
and everything.
exactly. It's like an AMA type thing. I should have tagged the podcast that way. Oh well. Oh, is there a piece here? I'll ask this. Is there a piece you're looking forward to seeing finished for Junkyard Juggernauts?
All of them. I like different things about them.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, my least favorite of the three would be the Warlord, but
Sure.
even then, I'm curious to see how it'll turn out.
Yeah. Okay, so here's we have a question from Rosie. What is your favorite character to draw, Paul?
Oh my gosh, good question.
Chrono. Darkwing Duck.
No, I don't have one. If it is, it's one of the characters I made up. That I haven't
the bubble
drawn in
guy.
years. That's one of them. But honestly, lately, some of my favorite drawings, like I've done for just like Inktober or something,
Mhm.
where I usually do these cartoons, and 9 times out of 10, they're always characters I've never drawn before.
Oh wow, okay.
But there's usually like 1 or 2 a year that I'm surprised how good it came out. Because
Mhm,
honestly, I mean, as the the person who's drawing it, I know where some of the flaws are.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some like, wow, this looks professional to me. Like, I'm impressed with like how that came out. Like, kind of like a third person perspective on it. Like, oh wow, I really. And so those are my favorite moments of like when I do those series, like that one or two that I feel like is really good, that I was like, oh wow, this turned out great.
Yeah. Okay.
So
very cool. Awesome.
But no, don't have a favorite one right now.
Okay. Very cool. Well, thank you, Rosie, for the question. We'll edit that in, and yeah, we're gonna be having this release, if you didn't hear, because of the buffering, this will release in the main podcast feed. I also have a question I need to ask you and Fabulous. So I will probably Discord one or both of you. That is just regarding your support for the podcast. Nothing bad or anything. Wow.
Okay.
But thank you for all the support. And if you guys want to check us out, you may have noticed the feed. You may or may not have noticed the feed is now going to a new website. So if you go to Firejoy Studios, that's where the Retro Realm podcast is going to be. Junkyard Juggernauts is going to be. So check us out there.
Yeah. So Francisco, what turns you on creatively?
Oh my gosh. Pixel art, I guess. I love looking at fresh, like a really well done pixel art. I love making pixel art. There's something about the limit to the constraint on your creativity that I feel like allows you to be more creative.
So what turns you off creatively then? Having full reign?
No, just it's nothing I can do, but I feel like just the AAA super clean video games these days, it's just, I don't know, it's just like
the remakes of the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's just so polished. There's just so much polish to it that I feel like I
can't even tell what's real life and a game anymore.
Well, I sort of lose that between of like movie or game, and I almost want it to be clear which one I'm experiencing. So I guess that's sort of my issue. Not that they're not beautiful or well made or I'm sure fun, but I prefer it to be much more clear, I guess, to my eyes, which I'm experiencing. He's gonna be like, huh? Because he's playing the games. Oh no worries, Rosie. That's funny though. But it's yeah. I'll tell you offline. Clever says, I won't lie. I really enjoyed this podcast. Y'all have a great night. Peace. Good night, Clever. Thank you.
That means shalom.
Yes, that means shalom. And we'll go ahead and end in prayer here, as we do. Lord God, thank you so much for tonight, for me getting to just ask Paul these questions. Though I hope at one point I'll discover his secret talents and then unleash them on the world. No. But thank you for this rapport we have, for putting us together at Cal State Northridge all those years ago. And pray you continue to bless both of us and our families. And we pray all this. I pray you protect us, provide for us. And may all of us who have prayer, faith, and trust in you pursue more and more each day. And may we all experience your love, grace, beauty, and truth in a fresh new way. Praying all this in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who left all majesty to come down into our depravity, live the life we wanted, taught us how we could, conquered sin, overcame death, being raised to you, the Father, making a way for us all to have a right relationship with you where there wasn't a way before. Amen.
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 Right.
Seriously?
So is there a particular sound clip I play that you hate most?
I think I hate, there's a couple. It's not the sound clip itself, but it's when I ask for 5 seconds of silence and you immediately play a sound clip.
Is there a sound clip that you love the most?
I think you do the Arnie ones pretty funnily, and you're able to answer with them really well. That tickles me. I don't know if I have
Okay.
one specifically that I just like. Oh, I play it again. Play it again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But I do also when you play any of the like there's another Get On With It. I'm like, oh my gosh. Why are you playing my Pythons? Get On With It.
Are you sure you don't like the?
No, that's kind of growing on me. It's interesting to me when you're able to. I like that the most when you fit it in without me realizing you're about to do it. Like in National Lampoons, I feel like you did that really well. I wasn't because you tucked it under you sort of put it under some other like oh here it comes. Oh no, you're talking about something else. Oh, okay. Maybe he's not gonna bring it up tonight, and there it is. So,
All right.
but yeah, Paul sound clips are awesome. Totally agree, Rosie. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Paul. And oh yeah, I was gonna raid. Let's see, who is there to raid? It looks like Ken is still on. Let's see. Yeah, Ken. We'll raid Ken. He's doing World of Warcraft, but we'll raid him. So thank you, Paul. And let me do this. Raid Kennethan. All right. Till next time, guys. Here's your pod face.
Again?
Okay, no. Oh, this should be the stream face. This is the stream face. You too, Rosie.
Okay, Power Rangers, let's do it!
Let's light this dude up! Psych!